Dr. Karna Sagar, why is it that the Mahagathbandhan appears so divided? The nominations have closed and still there are several seats on which it's a three-way contest now. You could not really decide on your candidates.
Maria, a happy Diwali to you, to all your viewers and the fellow panelists. Now, talking about this, I was told the topic is about whose Diwali, happy Diwali is going to be which alliance.
Yes.
See, talking about the fortune of the alliances, I think we are missing on critical link, Maria, for which the entire alliance and for the entire electoral process is there. That is, when is the happy Diwali for the people of Bihar? When is the common people, the men, women, workers, youth, youngsters, for them, this Diwali is going to come. See, for past 20 years, what Bihar has seen is unemployment, mass migration, poverty, inflation, a broken education system, a broken health system, a broken down law and order system. So actually, we need to on this Diwali, and I'll tell you, you are from Patna, Maria, I'll just take you around. Yesterday, I wanted to have a feel of the Patna market. So I started from Patliputra Colony and the Avdi restaurant, which is a famous restaurant, had all the goodies in front and not a single buyer. Then I came to Laddu Gopal, there was no single buyer. Then I came to Boring Road. Boring Road at 7 p.m. Is Choco Block. I jipped through the Boring Road. Then I came to Women's College. After Women's College, there is a Diwali, famous Diwali Mela. Every year is there. And normally you can't cross that area in the peak hours. But there was absolutely no buyers.
Okay.
In front of Panchmukhi Hanuman Mandir.
So you are saying that the happy Diwali should be for the people of Bihar. So let me ask that same question, Tuhin Sinha. Happy Diwali for whom in Bihar this time? You know, the reason why this becomes an important question today in particular is that the nominations have closed and whosoever has to fight in this election, that picture is more or less clear. And how the battles will be fought.
Good evening, Maria. Good evening, everybody. You know, on the day of Diwali, the difference between the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan camps could not be clearer. On the one side, there is illumination, and on the other side, there is abject despondency, you know, and darkness. So when Dr. Sagar complains about not finding buyers, he was probably visiting those select few areas where, you know, the Mahagathbandhan perhaps may have sway. But the fact is, it's turning out to be a one-sided contest. You know, there is no alliance on the other hand. 143 seats have been announced by RJD without taking the Congress party into confidence. In fact, you know, tomorrow is the last day for filing nomination, even for the second phase of polling, and they could not even formally announce the partnership, the alliance, the seat sharing. This is what happens when you suddenly decide to fight the Bihar elections from South America, you know, from Colombia. The 15 days of mysterious absence of Rahul Gandhi has perhaps jettisoned, has perhaps destroyed this alliance, because that was the time essentially to figure out, to you know, tighten the nuts and bolts. But now
so that advantage that the opposition, perhaps Dr. Karna Sagar, got with that yatra, the statewide yatra that Rahul Gandhi was on, was lost because of this absence. That all these differences over whichever the seat could have been ironed out had Tejashwi Yadav and Rahul Gandhi sat across and discussed. What happened instead was that there was visible trust deficit between RJD and your Congress in charge of Bihar. And that is what has led to this kind of tension between the allies.
Maria, I'll tell you, Rahul Gandhi has been in constant touch with RJD leadership, with the rest of Mahagathbandhan leadership, and the Congress own in charge and the state president. And there have been times when there was certain crisis brewing up, and he immediately spoke to everybody concerned and sorted out, and that is how the VIP party remains in the alliance, and they got the seats that they wanted. So Rahul Gandhi has never been away from the scene, and he has a very capable in charges. Mr. Krishna Allavaru and Rajesh Ram is basically are
Yes,
the
such
two
are in
people who have
charges that
turned the
Tejashwi Yadav really
fortune of
doesn't trust them. Such in charges who do not really understand the landscape of Bihar, and that's becoming evident now. Let me bring in the two analysts before I bring in Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Amitabh Tiwari, the advantage which the Mahagathbandhan initially visibly had. They were trying to create this narrative. They were trying to be seen to be playing the role of opposition, particularly with the entire SIR exercise. That seemed to have been certainly lost in this entire seat-sharing formula, which has somehow given the impression that the alliance, on the other hand, is not really an alliance.
No, the seat sharing talks and the distribution, and still we do not have clarity on which alliance is actually going to fight how many seats, because
Yes.
if the RJD has said 143, which means that it is only one less than last time.
Yes.
And if the Congress has announced already 61, which is 9 less than last time, then where is the VIP seats going to come from? I mean, is VIP part of the alliance or not? Because the total itself is around 234, 35 of already announced candidates. So the momentum which was there initially, you can say in July, August, seems to have weakened, and it's
Yes.
not primarily because of the seat distribution talks, it's also because of the schemes which the NDA government announced, knowing fully well that it was perhaps on a back foot and it was going to be a close contest with a third entrant in play. So for the voters and largely the undecided voters, which are going to play the role of kingmakers, optically it is not good, because those voters, undecided voters, would have thought that perhaps change is required and would have been wanting to lean towards the Congress party or the Mahagathbandhan if they see that they're not able to form the alliance and seat distribution talks, finalize the seat distribution talks, then there can be a question mark in some people's mind as to whether it will be a smooth ride after the polls when they, if at all, they win the elections and they form the government. So these question marks do arise, but now since all the candidates have been announced, etc., it's largely going to be a seat by seat battle
Okay.
on the weakest seats, and we have
So
to
you are
see.
seeing a very localized election, Amitabh Tiwari?
Because I don't see there is any overarching theme.
Theme, yes.
Neither unemployment, neither the opposition has been able to take unemployment as an overarching theme. Neither there is any strong pro-incumbency also, correct? So it's largely going to be a very seat-by-seat local contest, wherein the caste arithmetic would play a key role. Of course, the Mahila 10,000 rupees can be a game changer, and that can only be seen after the results.
Okay. Sanjan, are you also sensing a very hyper-local election, perhaps 243 local battles which will be fought across Bihar?
I have a slightly different view. Yes, it was perceived to be a hyper-local election until 2 months ago, because there was no novelty on part of either the RJD and Tejashwi or from the incumbent team. But what has changed, the perception and reality, that you see, we visually see a stronger Nitish who is acting as a gravitas for NDA. So on Nitish, you see a larger unanimity. Even Chirag has been endorsing him that this time, because of his support, Nitish Kumar is going to again come back to power. So that way you see the NDA has a chemistry. On the other hand, unlike 2020, where Tejashwi came as a fresh face and had attraction for youths around the issue of unemployment, this time you see Tejashwi doesn't enjoy the centrality among his allies. Neither VIP nor the CPI and CPI-ML, certainly not the Congress. And that is why you see what they are dubbing as friendly fights. That means there is no central figure who can resolve the differences which are bound to happen in political arena. So that way, you do see an advantage in terms of the chemistry and in terms of the perception, that you have a face in terms of Nitish Kumar, who visibly was considered to be past his prime, certainly is making a comeback. Two, you also see, when we try to assess whether election is going to be a hyper local or not, what we see that in terms of the constituency, certainly across Bihar, at least overwhelming number of women are endorsing Nitish Kumar. Many of them may not vote to Nitish Kumar. As Amitabh Tiwari said, because of the candidate factor. But in terms of the perception, brand Nitish, welfare scheme centric brand Nitish is back in Bihar, right? So that is why we'll see a gendered sort of a fault line wherein you find women overwhelmingly inclined more towards the NDA because of the scheme centric continuity, while the males, will opt for caste, community, candidate factors. So it's local as well as trend centric election.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Karna Sagar again before I go to other politicians on the panel. Dr. Karna Sagar, what is evident now is ever since the date of elections were announced, that in these many days, the poll plank of the Mahagathbandhan, which Tejashwi of course proposed, was one job per family, is not being discussed. What you are instead talking about is that how many seats on which there is RJD versus Congress fight, there is a Congress versus CPI-ML fight, you are essentially fighting among yourselves. You have not even ensured that on a number of these seats, the candidates who are seen as the third candidate actually withdraws their nomination, because the first phase withdrawal of nomination ends today.
Maria, I'll just come to your point. Earlier, what was remarked is that Nitish Kumar suddenly has become acceptable to everybody. There is a serious doubt about that. And he said, Chirag, he is not aware of what is happening in Bihar. 2 days back, Chirag said that after what Amit Shah has said, same thing should apply, that the elected MLAs, they will decide about the chief ministerial phase. So the constituency that Nitish Kumar has nursed so far is very, very worked up, because they know that in case if there is a vote for NDA, then it's going to be Maharashtra model. They are going to use Nitish Kumar for elections, and after the elections, Nitish Kumar will be just sent by the wayside. Second thing is, you see, Bihar, there will be local issues, there will be national issues. Biharis are extremely sensitive about what is happening in the rest of the country.
Yes.
And SIR has been a very serious issue in Bihar, and vote chor, gaddi chor is one slogan which reverberates throughout the length and breadth of the state.
Okay.
And the age group of 18 to 39 constitute 39% of the voters.
Okay, that's why I'm saying, are the politicians actually speaking the language of the people of Bihar? Then Neerja Chaudhary joins us as well. Dr. Sanjay Kumar, welcome to this broadcast. You have not made your opening comments, but I want to understand from you that is there some kind of doubt among the JDU voters now, and particularly among the JDU workers, the Karyakartas, that what will happen after the results in a post-poll scenario? Particularly after what Home Minister Amit Shah said, where he described the process. Of course, he said that these elections are being fought under the leadership of Nitish Kumar. He said that post-election process will be that MLAs will choose their leader.
Maria.
Neerja Chaudhary, I'm coming to you. Let me quickly take a comment from Dr. Sanjay Kumar.
Thank you, Maria. So, happy Diwali to all of you and to your viewers. So, to answer your question, you should also listen to Mr. Amit Shah's speech yesterday in Saran, where he says that the Nitish Kumar and Narendra Modi combo can only continue to safeguard the interest of Biharis. So that's very clear that what he said. And among JDU leaders and workers, there is no doubt that the election is being fought under our dear leader Nitish Kumar ji, and he's going to be the chief minister. What is happening today is that. Sorry?
How long will he be? How long will he continue in that chair if the NDA indeed wins?
That is a question of future. That is something I can't predict. So that's I don't think that has a merit as a question. But what we see, I'm sorry to like give my comments, but Mahagathbandhan is in total disarray. There is rival in dozen of constituencies. Even if they withdraw, they will not campaign wholeheartedly. It's not going to. There's no clarity of leadership. There is public bickering, not public agenda. They don't have. They are busy blaming each other. Within Congress, they are blaming each other. RJD versus Congress, Congress versus VIP. There are internal conflicts. It's been making headlines news since past week, and there is a weak coordination which is quite visible. Whereas NDA has an early bird advantage. No confusion for candidates. We have begun our campaign. It's a clear sign of organizational discipline.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the point that you have made, that you have an advantage, particularly in ensuring that your alliance appears far more intact.
So
The
the last-
differences
last-
have been
last
sorted
comment,
out,
last
and that
comment,
is
last
visible,
comment.
undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Neerja Chaudhary now. Neerja, I was reading your article today, and you have made some very interesting points. But, we know that the alliance, the Mahagathbandhan, doesn't have the advantage of arithmetic, just, perhaps the NDA has that advantage. But what is evident now is that even the chemistry is missing, with the alliance differences not being sorted out.
Maria, I don't remember elections where the divisions in the two sides have been so obvious.
That's right.
There's always turbulence before tickets are distributed. That is a given in every election. But today you have a situation that both alliances are deeply divided, even as the campaigning is got underway. And you have neither alliance has declared a chief ministerial candidate for the future.
That's
Nitish
right.
Kumar is leading the alliance, the NDA alliance, into elections. But from what Home Minister Amit Shah said a few days ago, he just laid out the procedure as far as the chief minister was concerned after the polls, if the NDA was victorious. And that meant that the MLAs will get together of the different parties and choose their leader and the prospective chief minister. He did not say Nitish Kumar will be our chief minister in the future also. So he left the door ajar on that question. And it is known that the BJP would like to lead the government this time. Nitish Kumar's health has not been good. BJP has been the leading party in the last elections, and let Nitish Kumar continue as CM. And remember, even though the distribution of seats is equal between JDU and BJP, 101 and 101, Chirag Paswan has been given 29 seats, and Chirag Paswan is batting totally for the BJP, will stick by the BJP, is the Hanuman of Narendra Modi. And the BJP is building him up as a Dalit face in Bihar. It is not known what Jitin Manjhi and Upendra Kushwaha will do, whether they'll stick with Nitish Kumar or BJP if push came to shove. On the other side, the Congress failed to declare Tejashwi Yadav as the chief ministerial candidate of the Mahagathbandhan. Again, very curious. He is the obvious choice. Why has the Congress party taken so long to do that? Bargaining has its own place, but to allow the momentum that they had built up through the voter Adhikar Yatra to peter out and not build on the anti-incumbency against Nitish Kumar's government of 20 long years, allow that to peter out. Absolutely extraordinary that they should allow this to happen. So I don't know what is happening in Bihar. It is a very close contest theoretically, but...
Yes, I agree with you. I mean, this is a very peculiar situation where the opposition has let go of the momentum, has let go of the visible advantage, let go of what was seen as their capacity for setting the narrative. Here is a government which has been in power for 20 years. There is visible anti-incumbency against Nitish Kumar. Tejashwi Yadav and, Rahul Gandhi they don't appear to be on the same page. They have much more to answer right now as we look at elections, the first phase in exactly 16 days. Yes, Tuhin Sinha, you wanted to come in. Please go ahead.
Vote chori was never an issue since Dr. Sagar raised this. But today, the bigger issue is ticket chori. Have you seen the, the heart-wrenching visuals of Madan Shah, who's been crying outside Lalu's house, accusing Sanjay Yadav of selling the tickets for 2.7 crores? Similarly, Afaq Khan. So, today the issue is ticket chori. These people, the opposition, I think this is the biggest scam, from land for job scam to money for ticket scam. That's
But
what you are witnessing.
Unfortunate part of politics in India is, Tuhin Sinha, that this is a crisis, I would say, which comes up every election across the country. We do not know the actual cost of a ticket, and we do not know that these allegations have any substance either.
No, but it's since the precedent is there, since they are anyway accused and charge sheeted in the land for job scam. I think you should give the benefit of doubt to Madan Shah over here.
Okay.
So ticket chori is going to be a bigger issue. But also, RJD has fielded a candidate against Rajesh Ram, the Dalit chief of Congress party in Bihar,
Absolutely.
which shows the anti-Dalit credentials, the anti-Dalit character of the opposition. They have broken the alliance with JMM, who claims to represent the Adivasis. This shows the anti-Adivasi character, and the way they have gone against VIP. That also shows the anti-Ati Pichda character of the RJD. So these people are essentially dynasts. They cannot grow beyond that to care for Bihar, and that is what is evident.
Okay.
So trust me. Just last sentence. We are going to witness an overwhelmingly one-sided contest, and you should not be surprised if the results are similar to the Maharashtra Assembly elections last year.
Dr. Karuna Sagar, some disappointment in the Congress, particularly with the RJD fielding a candidate against, Mr. Ram, who is your state president?
No, Maria, it's the wrong information. RJD has not fielded a candidate against Mr. Rajesh Ram. So that's wrong. And RJD has already clarified that. And today was the last date of nomination. And Mr. Rajesh Ram has already filed the nomination. Now, I was listening to this face of the election. Now, I do not know why is this obsession only when it comes to India alliance. Now, where was a chief ministerial candidate in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, where BJP went to for elections? So we are talking about issues, the issues that concern the people, the day-to-day affair, and that's why I said poverty, unemployment, the kind of mass migration we see, and it's a pathetic migration. It's not a migration for a cushy job. Forget white collar, not even a blue collar. It's basically menial workers, just driving rickshaws, security guards, working on the construction sites. So under a particular this regime of 20 years of Nitish Kumar and 11 years of this double engine government, there has been a conspiracy against this state to keep it backward.
But have you really taken advantage of building a credible alternative to Nitish Kumar? The question is, if Nitish Kumar is a Sushashan Babu of Bihar, you cannot dent that image of his. There is no charge of personal corruption against Nitish Kumar. The question is that here is a series of direct benefit transfers which have been announced. What has the Mahagathbandhan done to counter that?
Maria, last 1 or 2 months, the only discussion in the political arena of Bihar that is taking place is corruption of the NDA leaders and NDA ministers.
That is Jan Suraj, President Prashant Kishor, founder Prashant Kishor who is raising it. Unfortunately, Mahagathbandhan leaders have not raised a single question of corruption against the ruling NDA.
No, point is, it shows the kind of corruption which is spawned under Mr. Nitish Kumar. I am not personally blaming him, but what has happened under him can't be ignored. The way the flyovers, the way the bridges were falling, and Jitan Ram Manjhi, who is a cabinet minister in Modi cabinet, He himself says there is an estimate Ghotala in Bihar.
Okay,
That
fine. Let me,
estimate-
the question is, but you have not made corruption as a talking point or a plank in this election. That could have been the issue. That is not the case. Let me go back to the analysts again. Sajjan Kumar, Amitabh Tiwari and Neerja Chaudhary on the screen now, please. I'm going to begin with you, Amitabh Tiwari. The game is more or less clear. I would say that as far as the political chessboard of Bihar is concerned, who is standing where is very evident. You say that it's a hyper-local election where candidates matter. Then will it be disadvantage NDA, particularly keeping in mind that here is the Chief Minister who has been in power for 20 years? Do you see that as disadvantage for the NDA then? If it's a hyper-local election, so the local candidate is at a disadvantage? If he is a sitting MLA, the sitting getting formula?
No, see, what happens is that almost 1/3 people vote on the candidate, 1/3 on party symbol, and 1/3 on the leadership. Correct. So 1/3, which can be a key deciding factor because 33% is a lot, would be voting on candidates. Now we have to see, when we talk about candidates, there is confusion in Mahagathbandhan about candidates. There are five seats, 7 seats, whatever, where there will be friendly fights. Now the X factor amongst all this is the Mahila factor. In 2020, on 167 seats, where the women outvoted men, 99 were won by the NDA and only 61 by the Mahagathbandhan. So actually, on the seats where women outvoted men, NDA had a 60% strike rate. But on seats where men voted in larger numbers than women, MGB had the advantage. Because in those seats, MGB was leading by a significant amount. Correct. So it's now seat by seat dynamics and this overarching theme of this Mahila factor. Because if 5 to 6%, as per our survey at Vote Vibe, around 5.8% people said that they could switch from Mahagathbandhan, Jan Suraj or others if they receive this 10,000 rupees.
Okay.
Right. And that this was before the amount was dispersed. So this is a big factor now. 6% is a very big number. Secondly, Mahagathbandhan had the momentum, then schemes were announced, NDA had the momentum. Again, Mahagathbandhan messed up in seat distribution, NDA had the momentum. Now the biggest risk for NDA is the risk of vote transfer. The statement by Amit Shah on Nitish Kumar has created some sort of confusion. LJP and JDU do not share a great bonhomie. So on the 29 seats where LJP is contesting, we have to see how enthusiastically JDU supporters come out and vote. And now there could be a battle between JDU and BJP to get the highest number of seats to prevent anything like a Maharashtra episode. So this statement has enhanced the risk of vote transfer between allies, and this is the biggest challenge for the NDA unless Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his rallies understands
Reinforces it.
and takes steps to neutralize this thing. Otherwise, if you remember last time, wherever BJP was contesting, JDU supporters, 70% of them voted for BJP candidates as per CA. But wherever JDU was contesting, only 55% of BJP voters supported JDU, and that's why we saw a dip in the JDU.
So the
this
transfer.
the NDA.
Okay, and Amitabh, before I go to others, I want tell us about Prashant Kishor. Do you think him not contesting in this election has put some kind of disadvantage to the entire campaign? Because, you know, narrative has certainly taken a hit if he is himself not in the battlefield.
Yeah, essentially because after creating an environment where he said that he would be contesting from Raghopur, then Karagar, etc., and not contesting, I mean, a section of the voters would see this as chickening out. However, there are 83 seats where where the victory margin was less than equal to 5%. 2020, 37 won by NDA and 38 won by Mahagathbandhan. So on these seats, he could play the role of a spoiler, because if he gets 5-6%, then we'll have to see whom or which party he is essentially damaging. So he could play the role of spoiler, like LJP did, and damage both NDA and Mahagathbandhan.
So you are seeing now him playing the role of the spoiler from what was evident, say, few days ago, that he could also be that dark horse. Sajjan Kumar, you know, as battle lines get sharpened, particularly today, it's who do you think will have Happy Diwali finally on 14th?
No, I mean, as Amitabh Tiwari ji was saying, based on the 2020, Prashant Kishor seems to be playing what you call Chirag factor. But if you look, go for a bottom-up scenario, how we see the caste and communities and other constituencies responding, then we do see that whatever be the bickering between Chirag and Nitish Kumar, on the ground, we see a very consolidated Paswan Dalits endorsing NDA, of course, via Chirag Paswan. So on the ground, we do expect that around 6% votes that Chirag Paswan sliced away from NDA is coming back. So that certainly is a happy Diwali. Then you also see Prashant Kishor factor. Now, that 5% margin wherein he can play a spoiler for both MBA and NDA, the crucial factor is many of the constituencies, assemblies became closer because of Chirag Paswan factor, right? Because he sliced away. This time that scenario has to be factored in. And therefore, I think it's going to play in favor of the advantage. And about Prashant Kishor factor, mind it, appreciation in politics doesn't mean endorsement. So there was thrill, there was hype, there was appreciation because he was doing every day some sort of a poll call, exposing corrupt leaders, which is a favorite thing for the electorates. You know, the moment the real battle came, you get the votes via candidates, and therein we never saw Prashant Kishor encircled by a team. So it was bound to collapse. But since now you see brand Prashant Kishor taking a dip, certainly whatever vote he was going to slice, overwhelmingly it was going to mirror.
Why do you think that brand
NDA
has
votes.
taken a dip, Sajjan?
Because of the trust, people do not want to waste their vote. I may appreciate you, but if I consider that you are not going to win, your winnability quotient is low, I am not going to waste my vote. So not projecting a team, not projecting faces in different sub-localities, regions, and concentrating everything to himself certainly was a blunder too. When you said that you are going to end prohibition in 1 hour of coming to power, you did not take into account the sensibilities of the women who have a different take on the prohibition. Males may talk about its rationality, illegal, etc. And 3, in Bihar, the caste and community and gendered patterns are almost settled to a larger extent. So transforming them requires a larger investment rather than just a managerial kind of a politics. That doesn't work.
Okay, that's an interesting assessment there. Some piece of breaking news coming in now. In fact, it's getting even more concerning within the Mahagathbandhan. In close to 9 seats, it's allies versus ally. So there is Congress versus RJD in close to 6 seats. And there is Congress versus CPI candidate in close to 3 seats. That's how bad the alliance on the side of Mahagathbandhan is looking like, Nirja Chaudhary. I mean, 9 seats. They have decided there'll be a triangular contest, Nirja Chaudhary. Is this really an alliance which is working? You know, the questions are also there. What does the Congress bring in this alliance? They were the ones that pulled down the entire alliance in 2020.
Maria, your voice is disappearing.
Okay. Nirja, if you can hear me, my question is that in 9 seats, the final list is here. In 9 seats, it will be alliance Mahagathbandhan versus Mahagathbandhan parties. So in 6 seats, it is Congress versus RJD. And in another 3 seats, it's RJD versus CPI. So what, or should I say Congress versus CPI? I mean, that's how disintegrated Mahagathbandhan is looking like right now.
Yeah, that to have to face each other in what they would call friendly fights, quote unquote, it is a setback. Had they got complete understanding on the sharing of seats, and they should have been able to manage it, knowing that they have been at it for a long time. And to allow this to happen, I don't fully understand. Every party bargains hard, but it doesn't go over the brink. particularly when the stakes are so high. So for the Mahagathbandhan to have handled things the way they have in the last days, as I said earlier, really inexplicable. And I think even the CM candidate not to declare, when Tejashwi Yadav is the obvious choice, to make him also part of the bargaining chip for seats, again, is inexplicable.
And knowing fully well that Congress was the party which actually pulled down this alliance in 2020, Neerja. Because of their poor strike rate, Mahagathbandhan could not form the government. Let's face it.
Right, and it was just, they were so very close to it.
Yes.
So I think, the way there has been confusion, particularly on the part of the Congress, is this. Is there priority to bring down the NDA government? Or is it that first priority to revive the Congress party?
Yes.
They have actually fallen between those two stools. Reviving of the Congress party, asking for a larger number of seats, yes, that's a goal you should pursue. But, or is there priority this time to bring down the Nitish Kumar government? And they have a very good chance. They had a very good chance to do so. But I think they have allowed the momentum to peter out, which they should not have done, at least as we talk here today on the 20th of October.
Okay, let me take that question to Dr. Karuna Sagar. Dr. Karuna Sagar, what really is the aim of the Congress party in this election? Are you looking at establishing yourself, or are you taking on the NDA?
See, Maria, right from the beginning, the commitment of Congress towards the Mahagathbandhan, towards the alliance, has never been in doubt. Congress has been leading the India alliance in the entire country and setting the agendas. So we are working with all kind of partners. As I told you, even if there is a small partner who has a problem, then Rahulji himself comes in and steps in and sorts out the issue so that the Mahagathbandhan remains united. So we know there is a very
What
serious
kind of
duty.
picture of unity are you giving today, sir, when on 9 seats, it is Congress versus RJD, Congress versus CPI?
You see, we are a winning alliance. We are a strong alliance. We are winning. And since it's a winning alliance, there is a greater competition because everybody knows that after 14th, there is a government of Mahagathbandhan. That's why the bargainings are harder.
Okay.
But
so you're bargaining harder in a very, very
communication.
crucial election. It's a do and die battle for the opposition clearly in Bihar. If they are not able to ensure that they reach the winning margin, then it's game, set and match. I don't know what's going to happen in the elections which are scheduled for next year. I'll give you the last word, Tuhin Sinha. Please go ahead.
Well, I would just like to fact check Dr. Sagar. Suresh Paswan is the RJD candidate from Kutumba against Rajesh Ram of Congress Party. And Suresh Paswan has not withdrawn his nomination. So I don't know what kind of friendly fight it is. I see it as the most hostile fight. And when it comes to the Congress Party in Bihar, Congress Party is essentially the Jamanat Japt party. In the last 5 elections, it has not managed to cross 9% vote share. In 2015, it got zero seats. So I don't know. It's Congress which is essentially going to pull down the Mahagathbandhan. I don't see Congress getting more than 3 to 4 seats this time. Mark my words.
Worse
and like
than,
I said,
Tuhin, you're predicting that the Congress performance will be worse than last time?
well,
Their strike rate was 17% last time.
RJD knows it, and that is why the RJD does not want to give them more than 52 seats. In fact, Rahul Gandhi himself knows that the entire vote chori issue has not resonated with the people, and that is why he wanted to use that as a bargaining chip with the RJD.
All right. So let's see finally on 14th of November who really has a happy Diwali.